So my name is Bart. I just came to Tallinn for the first time, so I'm very excited to be here. I came from Poland, so for those of you who can understand me, cześć. I will share a presentation on more of a tactical level. I want to leave you with a couple of examples how you can use visual analytics to make better design decisions. Cool. So a quick question. Raise your hand high if you ever used, I already can see your hand, web analytics, like really high. Oh, cool. So I can skip a couple more slides and just get to the, no, actually I'm kidding. So that's a just fun fact I want to share with you guys. If you've used analytics before, there is 80% chance that you've used Google Analytics. That's just fun fact I want to share with you guys. So Google Analytics is something that you'd call traditional analytics. Like, not anymore because they redesigned it some time ago, but I will tell you how it works. Like with traditional analytics, you get information on how people are moving across different pages. So you'd have information that, let's say, 40% of people came from this Facebook ad, they landed on the home page, then they went to product page, and you've lost, let's say, 20% people in this process. Visual analytics, on the other hand, focus on what happened within those pages. So if you have this 20% of people that churned, that just left your page, visual analytics aims to explain you why this happened. So how people moved across the page, which elements they clicked, which elements made them struggle or confused. And during this short presentation, I would like to cover 3 categories of tools: Heatmaps, form analytics, and session replay tool. Heatmaps, which is click tracking. Who used click tracking before? Cool. So Heatmaps is a way of showing the trends on your website in terms of where people click, which elements draw people's attention, which elements seem to be clickable, but they aren't. It's a very neat way to present research findings, especially to stakeholders and team members. But it's not only pictures. The form of presenting is similar to eye tracking. It's not eye tracking because the data comes from mouse clicks and movements. But it's not only nice pictures. So this is an example coming from our own web page. This is old web page. This used to be a version, a chunk of a page presented to a tablet users. So when I went through our analytics, because we make them, I discovered that more people clicks on an icon of a smartphone compared to a big red button, which is our primary call to action. So you can see that in the button there is like 4-point-something% of clicks, and people clicked on an icon 7% of people. And the thing is that the icon wasn't like, it was just a picture, right? So those clicks are going to be wasted. So we could do several things. We could remove the icon, we could redesign the change. We decided to link this icon to a part of page that shared more information about mobile capabilities. With this tool you also have, or with this category of tools, you also have scroll maps, which tell you how engaging was your content to the user. And it's good for A/B testing, especially if you are testing landing pages. So you can prepare the same content, but put it differently and prepare 2 different variants of the same landing page, and then test where people get to the bottom most often, depending on the placement of elements and small changes of copy. Another case study coming from one of our customers. One of our customers hooked up heat mapping software to his website, and he discovered that almost a quarter of clicks were going into wrong places. So this was a very colorful website. I'm not showing you this because it wasn't very pretty, but you can imagine. So when they see how many clicks are going into wrong places, they've redesigned it and they managed to increase conversion, just like that. And it may seem funny, but with high traffic, those clicks can really be frustration points to the user. Cool. Another example coming from US customer, this is Mozyrko, and this is from Richard. Richard is a knowledge base administrator. So his job is to prepare content that would help his users solve their problems without calling the support team. So they have a few KPIs, like they measure their success in terms of, let's say, how many people found their content useful. And they used to have those boxes scattered all over their wiki pages. But what they discovered is that when people went through the text and they found a valuable piece of information, they just left the website, right? Which is nothing but ordinary, because this is one-on-one on usability rules. People don't read websites as they read books, but you never know how this rule apply to your business. So what Richard and his team did, they redesign the box and they stick it to the screen. So with any device, no matter how deep somebody scrolled, this small element was visible, and this increased amount of feedback they got from the users. And those are small examples, but there were many of those on the page. Okay, cool. Did anyone ever use form analytics in the audience? Thought so. Cool. This is example coming from our web page. This used to be our pricing. The fun fact is that for 2 years we removed any information on the price whatsoever. And this helped us to increase revenue tenfold, but this is for different presentation, this is different story. I want to focus on how we improved this form. So when somebody wants to get a quote, find out how much he or she needs to pay for our product, we made people go through this form. But what we discovered is that people struggled with it. And when you install Form Analytics tool, this form will be translated into something like this. So you can see that from a field full name, 18.5% people churned, which is nothing but ordinary. Usually people tend to interact with first field in the form and they just leave, or sometimes is auto-focused. With a second field, 3.7% of people interacted and left. Then the same happened with phone number. Business email is 0% loss, cool. But then we have an issue. We discovered that almost 15% of people interacted with the last field of the form and they left, which made us think why this is happening. So we started asking these different questions, and we discovered that not each of customer owns a website yet. Some customers or soon-to-be customers, they have few websites and they didn't know what to type there. And this made them confused. So we decided to, based on the results from this research, we changed the label to comments. And this improved conversion over 8%. So small change of the design helps businesses grow. Okay, session replay. This is a tool that helps you be more empathetic towards the user, as it helps you to understand how he or she moves across the web page. So how this works? You install a script on a page and you get to track each session coming from a user. You can see where user scrolls, how he interacts with a web page, which elements make user confused. You can use filters to get to the most valuable sessions. So if you are testing or investigating why people are not filling up this form that you are working on, and you know that it's on this page because Google Analytics tells you that so many people are leaving from the process on this page, so you can get to the recordings that are the most valuable to you, that may contain causes of people struggle. And those tools, all of them, visual analytics, they help you to understand why people are struggling, why people are not behaving the way you designed the web page and you want them to behave. Whereas tools like Google Analytics focus more on where things happen. And I want to show you one example, how you can combine those different approaches in order to understand why. So one of agencies, they were improving a page, I think it was e-commerce page for one of the clothing shops. And Google Analytics told them that, well, the conversion was low. The process was 3 steps, and Google Analytics told that I think 80% of people like escaped from the second step, which was something weird because they already put an effort to go through the step number 1. So they wanted to narrow down the understanding of the issue. So they installed Form Analytics tool, and they spotted this, that one field was different. People tend to spend 6.1 seconds on average on the field address. And when they investigated this further with a tool for recording user sessions, they discovered this. I don't know if you can see that, probably no. I can because I'm standing on the good angle. There is a white font on this yellowish square, and this font tells you which format should whatever you are typing there have. But there was slightly something broke with CSS, and people couldn't see this. So this made them confused. They wanted to go through the form, and the form tried to help them by presenting them with instruction how they should put the this postal code, but they couldn't see it. So as owners noticed this issue, they corrected, and the web page brought higher profits. And why this is important? Usually we are surrounded with data, right? It's very easy to get data. It's a bit harder to turn this into information because you have to put a structure on it. And this is usually what tools for user testing or usability testing or analytics, they give you this information, right? But there is something more that allows you to turn this information into value, and value is by change. And with visual analytics, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. It's about finding those design insights, those conversion insights that help you to understand how you can improve website, what's wrong with it, just to find this one recording that will change the way you perceive it so that you can improve it. Do you have any questions?